After ending WAC play with a loss to Garden City, the Hayes High Lady Indians will now look to end the regular season with 2 more wins as they get set for a doubleheader against Manhattan. And with that, we welcome you into the final broadcast of the Hayes High Athletics season, along with our entire Tribe Broadcasting Network crew. I'm Hank Corsair, and the Indians have had their ups and downs this season, getting off to a strong 7-0 start to the season and running into some tough competition in the middle parts of the season to come into today's game at 14-10. But now they face a Manhattan team that enters with a 7-13 record and is in a bit of a rebuilding phase after a winning season last year and losing 4 of their 6 Centennial League selections. And along with looking for a win this late in the season, both teams will try to improve their positions in their division standings with regionals coming up. For Hayes High, they are currently 7th in the 5A West, and 2 wins today would fully cement that spot as it's the best possible option they can get. And Manhattan is currently 12th in the 6A West. But today are the final games of the regular season and at home, meaning it is senior day. So while Hayes High will look for a win to secure the best possible position for regionals, they will look to send their 6 seniors into the postseason with a win at home. And we'll have first pitch next. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner and let's end littering together.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team and Tribe Broadcasting.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking the time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be. I'm Jeremy Winslow, and this was a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advisory Team.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out.
Back here at Bigglesschmidt Sports Complex in Hayes, Kansas, as we are about ready for the first pitch of Game 1 of this doubleheader between Hayes High and Manhattan. The Indians will go in search of their 15th and 16th wins of the season and look to fully secure the 7th seed of the 5A West Regional. Getting the start tonight in the circle for Hayes High will be Jaylee Summers, making that her 10th start of the season. That has recorded 37 strikeouts this year and has an ERA of 4.414. She will start off against Manhattan shortstop number 20, Cat Ball. And the pitch is on the way, and it'll be a little bit high, but they're going to call it strike one. First pitch will come at 4:02 p.m., and it's 78 miles per hour, but there's a lot of wind in this game. I don't know if you can hear it on the stream, but it's 17 miles per hour blowing in from right field to the infield. Second pitch is fouled away, and the count goes to 0-2. But other than the wind, it's a perfectly sunny day with a lot of clouds in the area and perfect softball weather. So the count is 0-2 between Jaylee Summers against number 20 for Manhattan, Cat Ball. One of two Centennial League selections for Manhattan that is back on the team this year, and she strikes out swinging, and there's out number one. And that is strikeout number 38 this year for Jaylee Summers. So now up is the left fielder wearing number 9, Jocelyn Harms, and we'll quickly run down the rest of the Manhattan lineup. Next up is the center fielder, Isabel Peabody. The pitcher is batting in the cleanup spot. It's Josie Alasana. First pitch is a strike to Harms. The catcher in the fifth spot is Grayson Neitzel. Sixth batter is first baseman number 31, Lydia Wassenberg. And rounding out the final three is number 27, Solvig Chase, number 1, Tiara Young, and number 33, Colin Courtwright. The 0-1 on the way. Will be on the outside, and the count goes to 1-1. The defensive alignment tonight for Hayes High looks like this. In left field is Lauren Klein, center field Elise Zimmerman, and in right field is Katie Klein. At third base is number 25, Brindley Rupp. The shortstop is number 30, Riley Dreher. Called strike, and it's now 1-2 to Jocelyn Harms. And then rounding out the rest of the infield is Adelie Kippis at second base, playing as the flex in the batting order tonight. And number 21, Brindley Browse at first base, and the catcher is number 22, Avery Soliday. This will be a line drive, but the right fielder, Klein, runs up on it, and there is out number 2. So with 2 down, that'll bring up number 22, Isabel Peabody, the center fielder. Had a good showing in Manhattan's last game, which was a doubleheader against Washburn Rural. Had 3 hits in the first game and 2 in the second game. And she watches the first one go by, and it goes past Soliday. The count starts off 1-0. Isabel Peabody is also a Centennial League selection for Manhattan on the second team. She'll take a swing at the second pitch, and it'll be called foul as it bounced off her leg. Count goes to 1-1. Josie Alasana is on deck, and in the hole is Grayson Neitzel. Take a look at Hayes High's batting order next inning. Next pitch is on the outside, and the count goes to 2-1. It's a Manhattan team that bats .285 as a team average this season. Trying to avoid 3 up, 3 down, as this one will be a hard ground ball going over to Riley Dreher at shortstop. She'll throw it over to Browse at first, and there's out number 3. 3 up, 3 down to start the game, and we'll see what Hayes High does with their bats to start game 1 when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking the time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be.
Back here at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex after a 3 up, 3 down inning for Manhattan, and we'll see what Hayes High does here in a moment. They'll be faced off against number 18, Josie Alasana, making her 11th start of the season. 5-7 record as a pitcher. Has recorded 43 strikeouts this season. And we'll get the first one on the outside, and the count goes to 1-0. She will face off against number 8, Elise Zimmerman, to start things off in the bottom half of the inning. Inside, and it's 1-1. After Elise Zimmerman, this is what Hayes High's batting order will look like. The third baseman, Brindley Rupp, and shortstop, Riley Dreher. And then in the fourth spot is Lainey Becker, the designated player. Avery Soliday is batting 5th. Brindley Browse is 6th. 7th batter is the pitcher, Jaylee Summers, and the last two are Katie Klein and Lauren Klein. After a swing and a miss, the count's 1-2. And the pitch on the way will be a swing and a miss, and it's a drop third strike going back behind home plate. And Elise Zimmerman will get to first base safely. The pitch was put on the inside, and the catcher couldn't get a hold of it as Zimmerman made a swing. Hayes High's got their first runner on through a drop third strike. So that'll bring up the third baseman, number 25, Brindley Rupp. Had a walk and a run in Hayes High's last game against Garden City, and then we'll get this one over the head of the right fielder. She's going to round first base and get extra bases and might have a chance to bring Zimmerman home, and she will make an attempt. She is there with plenty of time. It's an RBI triple for Brindley Rupp. The perfect start to this game for Hayes High, getting a 1-0 lead early on. No outs recorded yet. And now it's the third batter in their lineup, and that's the shortstop, Riley Dreher. Big day for her on senior day. We'll take a quick look at the stat that was given to us. She is the career leader for 3 different stat categories for Hayes High, but she enters this game with 42 hits on the season, and the record for hits in a season belongs to Shea Biggs. In 2014, she had 46, so that gives Dreher an opportunity to break that record and continue to add on to her already incredible career. Counts 1-1. Batting in the left-handed box is Dreher. This one will go on the outside, and the count goes to 2-1. On deck is Lainey Becker, and in the hole is Avery Soliday. This one will go over the head of Dreher. She had to duck down, and this will be a wild pitch. And sliding in safely is Brindley Rupp, and Hayes High's got the 2-0 lead. So 3-1 now is the count to Riley Dreher after the wild pitch. And this one will go down the middle, and she'll foul it off. It's a full count. Dreher leads Hayes High in batting average and on-base percentage. And this one will take a bounce before it gets to home plate, and that'll be a walk. So for Riley Dreher, that's the 14th time she's been walked this season, and now up is the designated player and the cleanup batter, Lainey Becker. And they're all going to have a conversation between the catcher and the pitcher for Manhattan. With no outs recorded yet, they're already trailing 2-0. We'll see what Becker can do right here after getting a double and an RBI against Garden City in the prior game. She'll show bunt, pull it back, and then go back to it. Dreher looked like she was going to take off, and she let off, but the catcher, Neitzel, got up and looked back at first base, and Dreher just runs back. So the count starts 1-0 to the right-handed batter, and she'll show bunt, and this will go off her leg, and it'll be called foul. Looked like it bounced on the plate too, so it wouldn't have mattered, but the count is 1-1. Shortstop and second baseman are playing back. Becker shows bunt again, then pulls it back, and this one is going to go high, and the count is 2-0 or 2-1. And they had to make a throw down to first base, but Dreher once again able to get back safely. Pitch on the way. This one will be another bunt from Becker, and this one will be fouled back. Has to swing at the next pitch because it's 2 strikes in the count. Pitch on the way on a 2-2 count will be inside and low, and it's full. Alisana delivers, and this one will go high, and it's another walk for Hayes High. Back-to-back walks as Riley Dreher will advance to second base, and now up is the catcher, number 22, Avery Soliday. Has a runner in scoring position at second base. She has 21 RBIs this season, with a golden opportunity to extend Hayes High's lead. Pitch on the way is right down the middle, and it goes to and the count starts 0-1. Some more runs here is the last thing Manhattan needs. This is a team that struggled with keeping it close, and this one a hit right between the shortstop and the second baseman, and Riley Dreher gets home in plenty of time. An RBI single for Avery Soliday on an 0-1 count. Lainey Becker will also advance to third base. And we're also going to see a courtesy runner come in for Hayes High. Avery Soliday will come out. And going in for Hayes High is number 9, Casey Jones.
Now bat for Hayes, number 21, Brindley Browse.
So now up will be number 21, Brindley Browse for Hayes High. Had 2 hits and an RBI against Garden City. It's been a pretty consistent hitter for Hayes High. Since April 24th, she has gotten a hit in every game except against Great Bend and Andover Central. And with a runner at third base, she's also gotten an RBI in every game except Andover Central. And it'll be a steal for Hayes High as running to second was Avery Soliday, and with that throw, Lainey Becker was able to come home. So Hayes High extends their lead to 4-0, and actually they're going to say Casey Jones got out at second base. So the count 2-0 to Brindley Browse with 1 out. And this one will be fouled up in the air. We'll bounce over, we'll go over the barrier, and the count goes to 2-1. Would have been a play that the catcher Neitzel could make, but little bit too strong as it goes out of play. So a swing and a miss here for Browse. Count is 2-2. In the bottom of the first inning, the score is Hayes High 4, Manhattan 0. And this pitch will go on the outside, and the count goes full once again. Rouse is the third batter for Hayes High, faced with a full count this inning. The other two have been walks. And she'll take a swing at this one as it'll bounce near Coach Abby Gillen at third base. As Browse keeps her at bat alive. Full count on the way. Fouled back once again, hard behind home plate. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up next. Full count on the way as a line drive, and the shortstop makes a diving play for it, but doesn't get it in time. Browse has another single. Browse is the lone Hayes High Indian on base with 1 out. That'll now bring us into the bottom third of the lineup, and starting that off is number 3, Jaylee Summers. Making this for her, this is the 2nd straight game that she's pitched in, and she also batted in the last game against Garden City where she had a walk. She showed bunt, and it'll be fouled back, and the count starts 0-1. Katie Klein is on deck for Hayes High, and in the hole is Lauren Klein, and we're going to get a second for the catcher, number 26, Grayson Neitzel, got hit on the arm from the foul ball. They're just going to give her a timeout to let her coach take a look at it. And she gives the thumbs up to her coach as she shook her arm to try to relieve the pain, but we're going to return to action. Count is 0-1 to Summers. Pitch on the way. She'll show bunt. This one will go right to the pitcher who runs up on it, and she'll make the throw to first base for out number 2. That'll advance Browse to second base. And now up is number 18, Katie Klein. See if she can get on and keep the inning alive. She's gotten a hit in 7 of the last 10 games. And the first pitch of the at-bat will go inside for strike 1. Browse will stay put at second, doesn't lead off. And this one will be swung on, and it'll go out of play, foul. Count goes to 0-2. Oh and 2 on the way. A little bit high, and the count's now, and that's the first ball of the count. So Alessandro will get set and deliver, and it's a line drive into center field. Peabody will chase it down, make a diving catch, and they will call it out for out number 3. But Hayes High will score 4 runs in that inning because of Elise Zimmerman getting on through a drop third strike, Brindley Rupp triple, and 2 walks from Riley Dreher and Laney Becker before an out was recorded. Hayes High leads 4-0 as we go to the top of the second. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Hayes High gets 4 runs on 3 hits and leaves just 1 runner stranded in the bottom of the first inning, and we go to the top of the second with the Indians of Hayes High in front 4-0. And after a 3-up, 3-down inning for Jaylee Summers, she will face off against Manhattan's pitcher, Josie Alasana. Alasana was the pitcher and she also batted in both games against Washburn Rural, which was Manhattan's last game, part of a doubleheader. First pitch on the way. High and outside, count goes to, we'll start 1-0. On deck for Manhattan is Grayson Neitzel, and in the hole is Lydia Wassenberg. Pitch on the way, in that same spot, and it's 2-0. Soliday showing that she wants the pitch low. This one will go on the inside, but they're going to call it strike 1. Alasana moved in like she thought it was going to hit her, but they're going to call it strike 1 of the count. Summers delivers, takes a bounce on home plate. 3-1 to Alasana. And she'll take a swing at this one, and it'll bounce foul just a little bit behind the line on third base, and the count is now full. So Alasana will step back into the box, and Summers delivers the pitch, and this one will be fouled back. Count will stay full. Alasana has a .273 batting average and also has one of the highest slugging percentage for Manhattan at .727. Looking to keep her first at-bat alive and get on base. And she swings on and misses at that pitch. There is strikeout number 2 for Jaylee Summers and out number 1 here in the top of the second inning.
Number 26, Grayson Netzel.
So Summers has started both innings with swinging strikeouts. And now up is the catcher, number 26, Grayson Neitzel. Had 2 hits in game 1 against Washburn Rural and recorded a large amount of stats in game number 2, including 3 hits, a home run, and an RBI and a run. She'll start off 1-0. She watches the first one go by. Lydia Wassenberg on deck, Solveig chasing the hole. Pitch on the way. Low but down the middle, strike 1. Summers is ready and delivers. This one hit high in the air to right field. Running back for it is Katie Klein. She'll go into foul territory and then drop it. She had the play. It would have been the out, but it's just a foul ball, so the count's now 1-2. Count is 1-2 to Neitzel. Summers pitch on the way is high and inside. Count is 2-2. Manhattan's put the ball in play twice tonight and has also struck out twice. And it'll be a swing as this one will be put in play. Running up on is the third baseman, Rupp. She'll throw it over to first base, and there is out number 2. It was a slow roller, a tough play to make, but Brindley Rupp able to get a hold of it. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up number 31, Lydia Wassenberg. Scored a run in game 1 against Washburn Rural, so she has 8 runs this season. Batting in the right-handed batter's box. Soliday shows that she wants it low, and this one will take a bounce on home plate. It's 1-0 to the first baseman. Summers will look towards the Hayes High dugout to decide what pitch she wants to throw. And she'll deliver. This one's a chopper, and it'll bounce into foul territory down the third base line. Under it, and she will make the catch for out number 3. So in both the first and second inning for Manhattan, they have gotten a 3-up, 3-down inning with 1 strikeout, a flyout, and a ground out. As it starts with a full count strikeout to Josie Alasana, a ground out to third base, and then a pop up to the shortstop. So Hayes High will have their 9-1-2 batters up next when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex after the 3-up, 3-down inning for Manhattan, we go to the bottom of the second. Hayes High still in front 4-0, and leading off the inning is number 24, Lauren Klein, who will have to duck down a little bit as the first one goes over her head and the count starts 1-0. Klein with a .327 batting average this season, coming off of a game against Garden City where she scored a run and checks her swing, but doesn't matter. It goes down the middle, and the strike makes it 1-1. Some of the infielders are playing back a little bit for Manhattan as the pitch is on the way. This one's hit high in the air by Klein, and the shortstop will get under it. It's ball, and there's out number 1.
Now batting for Hayes, number 8, Elise Zimmerman.
So with 1 down, that'll return Hayes High to the top of the order with number 8, Elise Zimmerman. Swung and missed on a 1-2 count, but was able to get on base through a drop third strike that rolled back to the wall. And she'll take a hard swing at this one, but the right fielder Young will run up on it, and there is out number 2.
Now to bat for Hayes, number 25, Brindley.
So 2 outs on just 4 pitches thrown, and now up is the third baseman, number 25, Brindley Rupp. On the first pitch of her at-bat, had an RBI triple. And the pitch on the way from Alasana will take a bounce on the outside. Count starts 1-0. Rupp will step back into the batter's box. Pitch is on the way, and it'll be fouled back, and it's 1-1. Rupp has 20 hits now on the season, and we'll watch the next pitch go by as it's up high. It's 2-1. Next pitch is on the way. This one will be hit up into the air. Peabody will track it down in center field, and there is out number 3. So after putting up 4 runs in the first inning, it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Hayes High. And they'll go back to work on the defensive side in the top of the third when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete, whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Profet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. Back here at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex as we go to the top of the third inning with Hayes High in front of Manhattan 4-0. Manhattan has gone 3 up, 3 down in each of the first 2 innings. So it'll be their 7, 8, 9 batters up. Count is currently 1-0, and this one is low and inside. It's a 2-0 count to the third baseman, number 27, Solveig Chase. Has a 2.43 average for Manhattan this season. And the next pitch in that same spot, it'll be 3-0. Trying to get on base and bring up Tiara Young, the right fielder, up next with the 3-0 count. 3-0 on the way to Chase. She will watch go by, and she was starting to run over to first base thinking she had walked, but it'll be called strike. Summers delivers, and this one takes a bounce low, and it'll be a walk for Solveig Chase.
Now batting for Manhattan, number 1.
The first Indian to get on base tonight, and now up is the right fielder wearing number 1, Tiara Young. One of the top hitters for Manhattan this season with a 378 average, and she has 17 hits this season, and she hits this one high in the air into the outfield, but Elise Zimmerman able to track it down. There is out number 1. So with 1 down and a runner at first, that brings us to the final batter in the Manhattan lineup. It's number 33, Celia Courtwright. Against Washburn Rural, she had a hit in game 1 and a run in game 2. Has a 385 average this season. She'll show bunt. Rupp runs on it from third base, and she'll make the throw down to first base for out number 2. And running to second base was Solveig Chase, and she slipped as she made it look like she was going to go to third. But she was able to get back safely with no play being made. But now we're back to the top of the order, and that will bring up Cat Ball, the shortstop. Struck out on 3 straight strikes in the first inning. And she'll watch the first one go by for a called strike. Solveig Chase is on base at second. Looking like she wants to steal, and a swing and a miss there for ball, and the count's now 0-2. Manhattan as a team is 41 for 52 on stolen bases coming into this game. But now the count is 0-2 as Summers will deliver the pitch, and it'll go over the head of Soliday, take a bounce in the air off the barrier. And off a pass ball, Chase is able to get to third base. 1-2 with 2 outs. And the pitch is on the way. Ground ball over to Riley Dreher at the shortstop position. She'll make the throw down, and there is out number 3. So Manhattan gets a runner on with a leadoff walk, but 3 outs will follow after that. And Hayes High will bat up next in the bottom of the 3rd when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking the time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be. I'm Jeremy Winslow, and this was a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advisory Team.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road.
Back here at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Hayes High in front of Manhattan 4-0. And Hayes High has got their 3, 4, 5 batters up next. Leading off is number 30, Riley Dreher, the future Hutchinson Community College Blue Dragon. Batting in the left-handed box once again. She'll watch the first one go by, and it's an 0-1 count to start. Riley Dreher walked on a full count in her last at-bat and was able to get home on a single from Avery Soliday. Ball will be left up high, and it's a 1-1 count to the shortstop. Pitch on the way, high and outside. Count is tied at 2-1. Dreher will take a swing at this one a little bit low, so it'll go foul. And the count is 2-2. Pitch on the way from Alisana. Hard ground ball to the second baseman, and the play is made for out number 1. So now up, that'll bring up the designated player for Hayes High, Lainey Becker. Just like Riley Dreher in the first inning, she walked on a full count and would eventually score. First one's low and inside, and it'll start 1-0 in the count. First baseman playing up a little bit for Manhattan. It's a fly ball into right field, and the Young will reach out into foul territory but can't make the diving play. The count will be 1-1. On deck for Hayes High is Avery Soliday, and in the hole is Brindley Browse. And the pitch on the way will take a bounce in the dirt. Count goes to 2-1. Hayes High had a total of 6 base runners in the first inning, as Becker will foul off another one. They have not had any base runners since then, so with 2 outs, or with 1 out, excuse me, an opportunity here for Becker. 2-2 on the way. Line drive into right field. The right fielder fell down, and it goes over her head. And Becker will round first base and pass second as the right fielder finally picks it up. She'll go to third and will make an attempt to go home. And she is going to get there safely. An inside the park home run for Lainey Becker. After the right fielder fell down, it went over her head. And Lainey Becker gets the inside the park home run to give Hayes High a 5-0 lead.
Now batting for Hayes, number 22, Avery Soliday.
So now up is the catcher, Avery Soliday. Singled on an 0-1 count in the first inning. And she'll watch the first one go by, and it's 1-0 count to start. She would eventually have a courtesy runner subbed in for her, number 9, Casey Jones, and she would be caught stealing, which would be the first out of that inning. And she'll hit this one high in the air to center field, but Isabel Peabody backed up and then made a jumping catch for it. There's out number 2. So now up, it'll be the first baseman, number 21, Brinley Browse. Singled on a full count, which was an 8-pitch at-bat in the first inning, but she would be left stranded at second base, and she'll watch the first one go by on the inside. It is a 1-0 count. On deck is Jaylee Summers, and in the hole is Katie Klein for Hayes High. This one will take a bounce in the dirt. 2-0 is the count. 14 pitches thrown so far this inning for Josie Alasana. And she's able to get this one down the middle to tie the count up at 2-1. Alasana threw 33 pitches in the first inning, but then on the 3-up, 3-down second inning, she only threw 8. And this will be a hard ground ball right back to her for out number 3. So Hayes High is able to score 1 run on an inside the park home run from Lainey Becker on a 2-2 count. And Hayes High extends her lead to 5-0 as we go to the top of the 4th. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, and baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalia Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Enrichment.
Back here at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex, going into the top of the 4th inning, Hayes High leading Manhattan 5-0, looking for their 15th win of the season. And now up it is the 2-3-4 batters for Manhattan, and it starts off with number 9, Jocelyn Harms. Had the fly out to right field towards Katie Klein on a 1-2 count in the first inning. We'll see what Manhattan does this time around. They went 3 up, 3 down in the first 2 innings, and then were able to get a runner on through a walk in the 3rd inning. And then 3 outs immediately followed after that. Summers delivers the pitch to Harms, and it's up high for ball 1. Jocelyn Harms has batted .271 for Manhattan this season, and if she can get on base, she is a dangerous base runner. Has stolen base 13 times this season. She'll watch another one go by as the count goes to 2-0. Also a future Simmons University Shark at the Division III level. Summers delivers the pitch, and this one will be in foul territory, and it'll go out of play over the Manhattan dugout. The count is 2-1. This is the area of the lineup that Manhattan has to capitalize off on. Isabel Peabody is on deck, and in the hole is Josie Alasana. Pitch on the way from Summers is up high. 3-1 is the count. Second straight inning where Jaylee Summers has started off with the leadoff batter in a 3-1 count. Last time was a walk, and now this one will be fouled off, and the count is now full. One of the field umpires will throw a ball back in. And Avery Soliday will get a hold of it and give it to the home plate umpire. Summers is ready, and this one will go by in the count, and that'll be a walk for Jocelyn. And it was also looking like Jocelyn Harms was going to make an attempt to steal the base there, but she has to run back, and that'll bring up the fourth batter in the lineup, Josie Alasana. Struck out on a full count to lead off the second inning. See what she does with a runner on. Pitch on the way from Summers is down the middle for strike one. They'll make a throw down to first base. It'll go over the head of Brindley Browse, but Katie Klein able to get it in right field. And Harms will stay put. It was a called strike, so the count is 0-1 to Alasana. Summers delivers the pitch on the inside, and the count is 1-1. Summers gets set. And the pitch on the way is up high once again. They'll make a throw to Browse at first base, but getting back safely is Harms. Two and one is the count to Alasana. Pitch on the way. Line drive into left field. Lauren Klein gets back and will make the catch for out number 2. Jocelyn Harms has to rush back once again. She keeps making that attempt like she's going to steal the base. As we said, she accounts for 13 of the 41 stolen bases for Manhattan this season. But there's now 2 down. So I'll bring up the catcher, number 26, Grayson Neitzel. Grounded out to Brindley Rupp at third base in the second inning. And Jaylee Summers will deliver the pitch. And Soliday will make a throw down to second base, and Harms able to make the steal. It'll be called strike one. As Summers will step back into the circle and deliver. Down low, and the count is 1-1. We're seeing Harms doing the same thing once again. Leading off of second base, trying to make an attempt to steal. She's loading her back foot up. As this one will take a bounce on the inside. The count is now 2-1. Summers is looking towards the Hayes High dugout. Now look at the sleeve on her left wrist and deliver the pitch. Hit high in the air into right field, but this one's going to bounce in foul territory. 2-strike count now to Grayson Nitzel. The same count she was faced with in her first at-bat where she grounded out to third base. The batter's ready. The pitcher's ready, and the pitch is on the way. Inside, it's a full count now for Grayson Neitzel. Two outs. Manhattan looking for their first run of the game with a runner in scoring position. This one will be hit high into the air, and it'll go out of play behind home plate. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Summers again taking her time here in the top of the 4th inning. And will deliver the full count. And it'll roll before it gets to home plate. And it'll be another walk.
Number 31, Lydia Wassenberg.
So now up is the first baseman, number 31, Lydia Wassenberg. Popped out to Riley Dreher on a 1-2 count in the second inning, which would be the final out of that inning. And there'll be a hit here. It'll go right towards Dreher on a ground ball. She'll make the throw to Brindley Browse. It takes a bounce at her leg. And Wassenberg is safe at first.
Number 27, Slova Chapman.
That'll go down as an error, and the bases are now loaded for Manhattan. And up is the third baseman, number 27, Solvig Chase, who was the first runner for Manhattan to get on in this game from a 3-1 walk. Summers delivers the first pitch of the at-bat. This will be fouled out of play over the Manhattan dugout. And well, actually, I think that took a bounce on the third base dugout of the field next to us here at Bigel-Schmidt. Summers on an 0-1 count delivers, and it is in there for strike two. The bases are loaded. There's 2 strikes and there's 2 outs. Summers kicks and deals on the outside, and the count goes to 1-2. Pitch on the way from Summers. It's a hard ground ball, and Dreher makes a diving play at the shortstop position, and she just tags second base with her glove for out number 3. What a play that was by the shortstop, and Hayes High will force Manhattan to leave 3 stranded and keep the shutout alive with a 5-0 lead. To the bottom of the 4th we go. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
As athletes, we couldn't play the sports we do without officials. Officials keep the game safe, fair, and fun. Our officials work hard in the off-season to be the best they can. The best way to thank them is to show them nothing but respect and gratitude during competition. As competition starts this year, please be aware of how you are treating officials in order to have the best outcome for your season and your officials. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics. 2 walks and an error is what got the bases loaded for Manhattan, but they leave all 3 runners stranded, and we go to the bottom of the 4th for Hayes High's 7, 8, 9 batters up next. And the first pitch is called strike to Jaylee Summers. On an 0-1 count, she grounded out to the pitcher in the first inning. Second pitch of the at-bat will be high and outside for the first ball of the at-bat. On deck is Katie Klein, and in the hole is Lauren Klein for Hayes High. She'll take a swing at this one. It's a really high chopper, and it'll just roll out behind the first base line. That ball took a hard bounce in on the line and just rolled foul after a short distance. Summers will watch this one. It's low and outside. 2-2 is now the count. Alisana delivers. Ground ball to the second baseman. Courtwright makes the play and gives it over to Wassenberg for out number 1. So with 1 down, that'll move on to the right fielder, number 18, Katie Klein. Had a hard hit ball in her first at bat in the first inning, but it was caught by the center fielder, Isabel Peabody. And she'll hit a hard ball to the first base, and an easy play for Wassenberg to make for out number 2. So with 2 down, Only 6 pitches thrown this inning. That'll bring up Lauren Klein for Hayes High. Lauren Klein just popped out to the shortstop in her first at bat. She'll watch the first one go by as the count goes to 1-0. Pitch on the way. A little too low there for Lauren Klein. The count is now 1-1 to the left fielder. Pitch on the way. She'll foul this one back. And it'll go out of play as the count goes to 1-2. If Klein can get on base, Hayes High will return to the top of the order for the 3rd time today. Pitch on the way to Klein. High and inside, actually almost hit her right elbow. The count will go to 2-2. With Lauren being a left-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher. The 2-2 on the way. Go by for ball 3, and the count is now full. With 2 outs and a 5-0 Hayes High lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Alisana delivers, and this one's popped up on the infield. The third baseman, Chase, will get under it, and it'll be fouled as it actually bounced in fair territory, just barely on the line, and then took a bounce out into foul territory. Kind of makes you wonder there for a second if Chase did that on purpose, because her body was in foul territory and she was reaching her glove out like the ball was going to land in fair territory. As Klein fouls off another one. It's now 6 pitches in the at-bat. We'll throw the ball back into the home plate umpire. And Klein will step back into the batter's box, trying to keep the inning alive. And she will watch this one take a bounce, and it'll be a walk for Klein. So Hayes High will go back to the top of the order for the 3rd time today, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Elise Zimmerman. Flew out to right field on her previous at-bat, but was responsible for the first run of the game for Hayes High. There'll be a throw down to first base as Lauren Klein able to get back safely. After the pitch was thrown, she was leading off a little bit. But the count is 1-0 to Elise Zimmerman. Pitch on the way. This one will be fouled back and out of play. The first 4 batters for Hayes High were responsible for the first 4 runs of the game. As Zimmerman looks to get on base, she'll hit this one high in the air to right field, and Young makes the catch for out number 3. Summers and Klein were out twice to start the inning for Hayes High, but Lauren Klein gets on through a full count walk, and then a fly out is how the inning will conclude. To the top of the 5th we go. This is Hayes High softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking the time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices.
Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex in Hayes, Kansas, and we are in the top of the 5th inning now with Hayes High still leading Manhattan 5-0. Hayes High's been able to shut down Manhattan so far. Jaylee Summers doing a good job, is not allowed to hit yet. And this one will be hit into center field. And just as I say that, there is the first hit of the game for Manhattan. It was from the right fielder, Tierra Young. And now we go to the 9th batter in the lineup for Manhattan. It's number 33, Celia Courtright. Had it ground out to third base in the 3rd inning, which was when her first at-bat was. This will be a hard chopper towards the Hayes High dugout in foul territory. Oh, 1 on the way from Summers. Be a hard ground ball. Riley Dreher will make the catch. Give it over to Kippis at second base, but the no play is able to be made at first. There is out number 1.
Now batting for Manhattan, number 20, Cat Ball.
So Manhattan will go back to the top of their order, and now up is the shortstop Cat Ball. Her previous at bat, she grounded out to Riley Dreher. It's one of the key players for Manhattan as a first-team Centennial League selection. This will be hit high in the air, and it'll be go into foul territory as Lauren Klein tried chasing it down. Count will start off 0-1. That was a close ball too. Earlier on in this game, it probably would have been a for sure foul because of the wind, but that has died down now since. It was 17 miles per hour at first pitch, but we'll take a look now real quickly at what it's officially read as right now. It's dropped down a couple miles per hour. Soliday will catch the ball and then go down on a throw to first base. Count is 1-1 to Cat Ball. Summers delivers. Ball fouls this one back, and the count now 1-2. She's already been struck out once. It's a 1-2 count with 1 out. The runner at first base is Celia Courtright. Summers kicks and deals. High and outside, and the count moves to 2-2. On deck for Manhattan is Jocelyn Harms, and in the hole is Isabel Peabody. The 3 leadoff batters for Manhattan have only gone on once tonight. This will be fouled back and out of play. Count stays 2-2. Summers gets set and delivers the pitch. This one will be fouled back. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up next to the shortstop, Cat Ball. Summers will take a look at the sleeve on her wrist. And the pitch on the way will go outside once again. The count moves to 3-2. The 4th batter that Summers has faced off against in a full count. This one will be popped up into the air. Lauren Klein will run up on it from left field, but it's Riley Dreher that makes the play at the shortstop position. There is out number 2.
Now batting for Manhattan, number 9, Jocelyn Harms.
So now up is the left fielder, number 9, Jocelyn Harms. Got on as the leadoff batter in the 4th inning through a full count walk. Made it all the way to third base, but was left stranded. That was when Manhattan got the bases loaded but couldn't bring any runners home. And the count will start off 1-0 to her. Summers delivers the pitch. It's up high for ball 2. Summers is ready. The batter will show bunt, and it'll just go foul. Ball would have gone down the first baseline if it had remained fair. We'll see how Summers approaches this one, tied in the count. It'll be a ground ball towards second base. Both Kippis and Dreher make a diving play, but it'll be the center fielder that gets a hold of it, and another single for Manhattan. Celia Courtright advances to second base, and now up is the third batter in the lineup, Isabel Peabody. Has a .421 on-base percentage, and she hits this one high in the air. It's going towards foul territory. Both the first baseman, Brinley Browse, and the right fielder, Katie Klein, were running after it, but no play was able to be made, and the count starts off 0-1 to the center fielder and first-team Centennial League selection. Summers gets set, pitch on the way, ground ball down the third base line. She makes the throw over to first base, and it is not in time. That is an infield hit for Isabel Peabody. And once again, Manhattan has the bases loaded with Courtright at third, Harms at second, and Peabody at first. That last hit by Peabody, it looked like it had the potential to go foul, but Rupp ran up on it. This one will go down the middle for strike one to Josie Alasana. The pitcher for Manhattan has gotten out twice through a strikeout and a fly out to left field. Has the opportunity to bring some runs home. This one will be hit high as a pop-up, and it'll go foul once again. The count is 0-2. Like we just said, for the second straight inning, Manhattan has the bases loaded. An opportunity to get their first runs of the game. Summers' pitch on the way is up high for ball one. One-two on the way from Summers. Fouled back once again, bouncing off the netting. Josie Alasana just trying to get some runs home for Manhattan. Makes good contact with the ball. As we mentioned earlier, she's the team leader in slugging percentage at .727. 1-2 on the way from Summers. Is left outside for ball two. Summers again gets set. Pitch on the way. Check swing, but she doesn't fully go around as it was a high pitch. Count is full to Josie Alasana. See what she decides to do with a full count. And the base is loaded with 2 outs. Pitch on the way is hit down the middle. It's popped up on the infield. Brinley Browse trying to run after it, but it bounces on top of the Manhattan dugout and goes out of play. That's now 7 pitches in this at-bat for Josie Alasana. Alasana has 13 RBIs so far this season, with 2 of her runners in scoring position. Summers delivers. And it's right down the middle, and the strikeout is there for out number 3. 40 strikeouts on the season for Jaylee Summers as she once again leaves all 3 runners stranded. And Hayes High will take their 5-0 lead to the bottom of the 5th inning when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there. And remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. After 2 straight innings for Manhattan of leading runners stranded, we go now to the bottom of the 5th inning with Hayes High leading 5-0 in search of improving to 15-10 on the year and improving their spot of the regionals, which are coming up, which will be their next games after today. Uncertain of who that could be against. We'll take a quick look at that real fast. Hayes High is 7th in the 5A West with their 14-10 record. They have 2 teams tied right behind him, Cape and Mount Carmel and Andover, both at 15-11. And the 10 seed currently at 13-11 is the Valley Center Hornets. So 1-0 count to start off to Brindley Rupp. She'll watch the next one go on the outside, and it's a 2-0 count. She's 1 for 2 in today's game, had an RBI triple to start the game, and flew out to center field on her last at-bat in the 2nd inning. Pitch on the way. This will be a ground ball past the 3rd baseman and into the outfield for a leadoff single for Brindley Rupp.
Now batting for Hayes, number 30, Riley Dreher.
So with a runner on, that'll bring up Riley Dreher. Has reached base once tonight and grounded out in the 3rd inning. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, she's in search of being the new record holder for single season hits. Has 42, trying to chase the record of 46. 1-0 is what the count will start off as. Alisana delivers, takes a bounce in the dirt, and the count goes to 2-0. Brindley Rupp was taking a big lead off of first base after the pitch was thrown. Haven't seen her stolen base very much this season. Dreher will hit this one into the air and go foul out of play. And the count goes to 2-1. Pitch on the way, hard hit ball by Dreher, and this one will land in play, but in foul territory. Count is now 2-2 to the shortstop. And Alisana will deliver the pitch high up in the air, and they'll make a throw down to first base as Rupp was leading off, but it goes over the head of Wassenberg. And Rupp will get to second base in plenty of time. So the count is full to Riley Dreher. The pitch on the way. Line drive into left field, and the left fielder will let it bounce in front of her. Rupp will make a run to home plate, and she is there in plenty of time. A double for Riley Dreher. There is 43. She just needs 3 more in today's games to get the record, or tie the record. And now we're going to get a time call by Manhattan. This might be the end of the day for Josie Alisana, or we'll see if it's just a meeting between her and her coach. They're also going to bring the outfielders in, and we'll step away to talk things over. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
So after the meeting, it's Hayes High 6, Manhattan 0. Riley Dreher is on second after a double, and now up is the cleanup batter and designated player, Laney Becker. And Riley Dreher was leading off, and the count starts off 1-0 to Becker. Has scored twice, got on through a walk in the first inning and had that inside the park home run in the third inning. Watches the second pitch go by down low, and the count is 2-0. Alisana delivers the pitch and puts it on the outside, 3-0. It's on the way, and it's down low. The catcher tried to frame it, but it's 4 pitches and a walk for Laney Becker.
Now batting for Hayes, number 22, Avery Soliday.
So 2 runners on for Hayes High, and now up is the catcher, Avery Soliday. Let's take a bounce, and Riley Dreher will steal third base as the ball got away from the catcher, and Laney Becker will also steal second. So the count starts off 1-0 to Avery Soliday. Lydia Wassenberg will come in from first base to talk to the pitcher, Josie Alisana. So Manhattan doing whatever they can to try and fight back in this game. Pitch on the way. High fly ball into center field. They'll run back on this one. It is over the wall, and it is gone. Avery Soliday, a 3-run home run. So Hayes High takes a 9-0 lead, and for Avery Soliday, that is home run number 4 for her this season, and Hayes High leads at 9-0. One more run will be a run rule.
Now batting for Hayes, number 21.
It's a tough situation for Manhattan. They're going to leave Alisana in the game, and all 4 of the leadoff batters for Hayes High have scored with 0 outs. It's a hard hit ball over the head of the third baseman by Brinley Browse. The left fielder, Harms, will pick it up, and it's only going to be a single, but Browse is on base. And we're going to get a time called by Manhattan, and this might be the end of the day for Alisana. The next batter up for Hayes High is Jaylee Summers. Looks like it's just going to be another meeting between the coach and the pitcher. We'll give this a second, and we'll actually step away for a moment as they talk things over. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, and baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. We'll leave Alisana in the game, and Jaylee Summers now up. She fouled back the first pitch of the at-bat. And the count will start off 0-1. Runner at first base is Brinley Browse with the pitch on the way. She will ground this one, and it'll go past the second baseman, making a diving attempt for the ball. And Browse will advance to second base, and looked like she was going to go to third, but just walks back. And it's the first hit of the game for Jaylee Summers. And the potential winning run is at second base. Hayes High looking for another run rule this season. Alisana delivers the pitch. This one to Katie Klein. It'll be called strike 1. Klein has put the ball in both of her previous at-bats. This one will go over the head on a line drive over the shortstop's head, and Browse will stay put at third base.
Now batting for Hayes, number 24, Lauren.
3 straight singles for Hayes High, and that'll bring us to the final batter of the order, and that's Lauren Klein. Was walked on a full count on a 7-pitch at-bat in the 4th inning. And we're going to get another meeting here for Manhattan, as this one will just be between the players in the infield. All Hayes High has to do is get the runner at third home for a run rule victory, as they lead Manhattan 9-0 here in the bottom of the 5th with no outs recorded yet. Klein steps into the batter's box. And Alisana delivers up high for ball 1. Pitch on the way from Alisana is a little bit on the outside, but it'll be called strike 1. Lauren Klein looking for the hit here, which would also be an RBI. This one will be fouled back out of play. Count goes to 1-2. A hit would get Klein on base and also get her an RBI, which would win the game with a run rule for Hayes High. She's recorded each of those stats in 5 of the last 6 games. She'll watch this one go by, and the count goes to 2-2. Alisana's ready. Pitch on the way. Popped up, and it'll be in the infield, and the shortstop ball makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting for Hayes, number 8, Elise Zimmerman.
So now that'll return Hayes High to the top of the order, and here is number 8, Elise Zimmerman. Scored the first run of the game and has had 2 flyouts to center field or right field since then. This one will go over the pitcher's head and will bring the runner home for the single. They'll also bring another runner home for Hayes High. And there'll be a single. And Hayes High will take a 10-0 lead, which is the win. 15-10 is what Hayes High's record improves to, as they shut out Manhattan and drop their record to 7-14 after a strong pitching performance and a strong batting performance. And we'll have the second game up next, but we'll also have our post-game show after this. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Back here at Bigglesschmidt Sports Complex on the postgame show as Hayes High gets the win in the first game of the doubleheader. 11-0 is what it's officially listed as, although it was a run rule victory. And we'll take a quick recap of tonight's game, but we're going to make this postgame show very quickly because of the senior day festivities coming up in just a little bit. Manhattan went 3 up, 3 down in their first 2 innings, and for Hayes High, they were able to put up 4 runs in just the first inning alone off their first 4 batters and off of 3 hits. And then they had a 3 up, 3 down inning of their own in the second. In the third, Manhattan got Solveig Chase on through a walk, but then 3 outs followed after that. And then Hayes High, Riley Dreher would get out on a ground ball to start the third inning, and then an inside the park home run followed for Laney Becker, and then 2 more outs followed after that. Manhattan would get the bases loaded in the 4th inning with 2 walks and an error, but all batters will be left stranded in that inning. And then in the 4th inning, Hayes High got a runner on through a walk, and that was Lauren Klein. She would remain stranded as well. And after Manhattan got the bases loaded once again in the 5th inning, they would once again leave all runners stranded. And for Hayes High, they would score 6 straight runs with only 1 out in that final inning to win by a final score of 11-0. And we'll take a quick take a quick look at our final individual and team numbers here for Game 1. Elise Zimmerman had 2 RBIs and recorded a run and a hit. Brindley Rupp had 2 runs on 2 hits and an RBI. Riley Dreher she got 2 runs, a hit, and an RBI, and was also walked in the game. Laney Becker had 3 of Hayes High's runs with a hit, an RBI, and 2 walks. Avery Soliday had a run, 2 hits, and 4 RBIs. Brindley Browse had 2 hits, and she scored 1 run. Jaylee Summers had a run and a hit, and rounding it out is Katie Klein with a hit and Lauren Klein with a walk. Overall, Hayes High had 11 hits to go with their 11 runs and also had 9 of those runs batted in on 4 balls. And looking over at Hayes High's pitching, Jaylee Summers pitched all 5 innings and only allowed 3 hits and 0 runs and recorded 3 walks and 3 strikeouts on 86 pitches. And over for Manhattan, we'll actually take a look at Manhattan's stats in just a moment. We're going to throw it over to our PA announcer, Cameron Colress, for our presentation of the 2025 Senior Day recognition.
She is the daughter of Elena and Travis Zimmerman. Elise plans to attend Pratt Community College, play tennis, and major in nursing. Next up is number 9, Casey Jones, daughter of Leslie and Rex Storer and Wade and Renee Jones. Casey plans to attend Emporia State University and major in nursing. And now, number 22, Avery Soliday, daughter of Shelby and John Soliday. Avery plans to attend Fort Hays State University and major in digital media production. And now, number 24, Lauren Klein, daughter of Kevin Klein and Kay Harder and Jeremy Harder. Lauren plans to attend Salina Area Technical College for dental assisting and hygiene. And now, number 27, Sammy Sanderson, daughter of Noel and Micah Sanderson. Sammy plans to attend Fort Hays State Northwest, play softball, and major in construction technology. And now, number 30, Riley Dreyer, daughter of Jamie and Dustin Dreyer. Riley plans to attend Hutchinson Community College, play softball, and major in nursing. The coaching staff and team would like to thank these young ladies for their hard work and dedication to Hays High softball. Each of you has been an important part of our softball family over the course of your careers. We would like to thank you for your leadership, hard work, and commitment to the team. You and your families have been a vital part of our program. We wish you all the best in your future plans and thank you for all the memories you have given us. Give it up for the 2025 senior softball.
So congratulations to the 2025 senior class for this Hays High softball team, and we continue our post-game show coverage by taking a look at Manhattan's individual and team numbers. And we'll take a look. Starting off, we see that Jocelyn Harms recorded a hit and a walk. Isabel Peabody, the center fielder, had a hit as well. Grayson Nitzel was walked once, and so was Solvig Chase. And rounding it out is Tierra Young with a hit. So Manhattan had 3 hits and 3 walks, and they didn't score any runs in that game. And their pitcher, Josie Alasana, pitched the entire game, going 4 1/3 innings with 11 hits, 11 runs. 10 of those were earned, and she also gave up 4 walks and recorded a strikeout. So Hays High wins it by a final score of 11-0 to improve to 15-10 on the year. Manhattan will drop to 7-14. So we'll take a break, and we'll have game number 2 for you in just a little bit. This is Hays High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 2 of today's doubleheader between Hayes High and Manhattan. Hayes High took the first game by a final score of 11-0, thanks to a strong pitching game from Jaylee Summers and an early 4-0 lead in the first inning, able to propel the Bats to a win. And we're about to get set here in game number 2. As getting the start on the mound on senior day will be number 30, Riley Dreher. She's 8-4 this season, has recorded 38 strikeouts and has an ERA at 4.954. She will start off against number 9 for Manhattan, Jocelyn Harms. Coming off of a last game where she made it on base in her two final at bats through a walk and a single. She'll watch the first one go by for a ball. And for game number 2 and the final game at home this season for Hayes High in the regular season, the start time is 5:53. Count goes now to 2-0 to Jocelyn Harms against Riley Dreher. We welcome you back to Bickelschmidt Sports Complex. We apologize for the technical difficulties. The heat, it's getting a little bit hotter here at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex, and it caused our sound mixer to turn off. So we have it fixed for the moment, but just bear with us as we look to get everything situated out. So now up for Manhattan is Isabel Peabody. After Jocelyn Harms and Kat Ball both got out. Isabel is a first-team Centennial League selection for Manhattan. Singled on her final at-bat in the prior game, going 1 for 3 on the day, and she grounds this one to second base. It's picked up by Casey Jones and thrown over to Adelaide Kippis at first base for out number 3. Second game in a row, Hayes High's fielding starts with a 3-up, 3-down inning. And we'll see what the Bats can do when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner and let's end littering together.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video. Back here at Bigglesschmidt Sports Complex as we go to the bottom of the first inning with Hayes High in front of Manhattan, with a 0-0 score after a 3-up, 3-down inning. And leading off for Hayes High is Elise Zimmerman. She'll drop this one in over the head of the shortstop, and she'll get on with a single. Another good start there for Hayes High. Elise Zimmerman got on to start the game, to start the prior game, and now she gets on as the leadoff in this game. They'll bring up Brinley Rupp, the shortstop, next in the order, and we'll take a look at Hayes High's batting order. After this will be Riley Dreher, and the cleanup batter is the designated player Lainey Becker. We get a line drive and another about to that same spot. Brinley Rupp gets a single, and Elise Zimmerman will advance to second base. So Riley Dreher will come up, and the fifth batter in the lineup is Avery Soliday. Sixth will be Brinley Browse, and rounding out the final three is Casey Jones, Sammy Sanderson, and Lauren Klein. So Hayes High will be batting all 6 of their seniors for the final home game of the regular season, and all runners will advance after a ball that got away from the catcher. Counts 1-0 to Dreher. She'll swing this one. The second baseman makes a diving effort for it, but is unable to get a hold of it. That's going to score 2 runners. Hit number 44 on the season for Riley Dreher. 2 more will tie the record.
Now batting for Hayes, number 11, Lady Becker.
So now up is the designated player Lainey Becker. She'll watch the first one go by for a ball. Scored 3 runs in the last game. Got on through 2 walks and had that inside the park home run in the 3rd inning. She'll swing at this one. It'll be popped up on the infield. The second baseman will get behind the first baseman and catch it for out number 1.
Now batting for Hayes, number 22.
So now it's 1 down and a runner at first. That'll bring up the catcher, number 22, Avery Soliday. Singled on her first at bat in the first game. Flew out to center field and then had a home run of her own in the 5th inning, which was a 3-run homer. She'll show bunt and pull it back for ball 1. And Hayes High is once again getting off to a strong start against this Manhattan team as they go in search of win number 16. As Hayes High is currently 7th in the 5A West standings. A win in this game would fully secure that spot as Avery Soliday fouls it away. And the count goes to 1-1. And just to let the fans know, we were able to get the situation figured out with our mixing board overheating. We put it in a position where our audio is still heard clearly and it's out of the sun. So we shouldn't have any more technical difficulties for the rest of this game, but we'll keep an update on that. It's now 2-1 to Avery Soliday with 1 out. Pitch on the way. Takes a bounce in the dirt and it goes past the catcher. And Riley Dreher will advance to second base and will lead off a little bit but stay put. I'll take a look real quickly at the defensive alignment here for Manhattan. The left fielder is Jocelyn Harms. In center field is Isabel Peabody, and in right field is Tierra Young. As the ball is swung by Avery Soliday, the shortstop loses control of it, makes the throw down in it, and Avery Soliday is safe. Good play there, advancing all runners, and still only 1 out recorded by Manhattan as Brinley Browse, the third baseman, will come up. Look at Manhattan's remaining fielders. Grayson Neitzel will be playing at third base. At shortstop is Kat Ball. Second baseman is Celia Courtwright, and at first base is Lydia Wassenberg, and the catcher is the flex player Marin Messborn. Hayes High did sub in a courtesy runner. It's Jaylee Summers at first base. And the first ball is called strike 1. We'll see what Browse does this time around as the pitch goes on the way. Takes a bounce near her feet, and there's ball 1 as all runners will advance for Hayes High. Avery Soliday goes to second, or actually Riley Dreher will stay put at third base. And this one will be fouled up into the air, but there will be some fielders chasing after it. This one will go out of play, and the count goes to 1-2 for Brindley Browse. Was able to continue her successful hitting in the last game, recorded 2 singles, and as we mentioned in the first game, she has recorded a hit in every game since April 24th, except against Great Bend and Andover Central. This one will be popped up into the air. The center fielder runs in on it and drops it as she was running for it. Riley Dreher will get it to home safely, and Browse will advance to second base.
Now batting for Hayes, number 9, Casey Jones.
Jaylee Summers will advance to third base. Brindley Browse is at second. And up for Hayes High now is the second baseman, number 9, Casey Jones. So watch this one go by for strike 1. This is the 5th game that Casey Jones has appeared in this season. Again, Hayes High is playing all 6 seniors in the batting order in this game. This one's on the inside and low, and then the count goes to 1-1 to the second baseman. Pitch on the way. This one's hit into the air, going into foul territory, but the third baseman will chase it down. Neitzel gets it for out number 2.
Now batting for Hayes, number 27, Sammy Sanderson.
So now that'll bring up the 8th batter in the lineup for Hayes High. It is number 27, Sammy Sanderson, making her first varsity appearance of the season. One of the 6 seniors in the order. And she'll watch the first one go by for ball 1. Pitch on the way, down the middle, and called strike 1. On deck is Lauren Klein for Hayes High, and in the hole is the first batter, Elise Zimmerman. Swing and a miss there for Sammy Sanderson, and the count goes to 1-2. Pitch on the way, and a check swing, but it will be called strike 3. I think they're going to call it a swinging strike, but that'll take us to the end of the first inning. Hayes High once again getting off to a strong start against Manhattan, getting the first 3 runners on through 3 singles and bringing all 3 of them home to take the 3-0 lead into the top of the second inning. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking the time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be. I'm Jeremy Winslow, and this was a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advisory Team.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Back here at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex as Hayes High leads Manhattan 3-0 in the top of the second inning. And after Manhattan went 3 up, 3 down in the first, they'll bring up the 4th batter in the order, Josie Alasana. And she'll hit this one. It's a line drive right back to Riley Dreher out in the circle, and she gets the catch for out number 1. What a play there.
Number
teammates cheering her on after making that play, and now up in the order is Grayson Neitzel, the third baseman for Manhattan. And because of the technical difficulties that we had, we weren't able to read off the defensive alignment for Hayes High. In the outfield from left to right is Lauren Klein, Elise Zimmerman, and Sammy Sanderson. Third base will be Brindley Browse. Brindley Rupp is at shortstop. Casey Jones will be at second base, and at first base is Adelie Kippis, and rounding it out is Avery Soliday as the catcher and the pitcher, Riley Dreher. It'll be an 0-2 count now to Grayson Neitzel. In the last game, she walked in the fourth inning and also grounded out earlier on. Pitch on the way will be fouled back. Just barely got a hold of it there for Neitzel, but the count will stay 0-2 and the at-bat will stay alive. Dreher gets set, delivers the pitch, and a swing and a miss, and there is her second strikeout of the game. Two outs now, and now up for Manhattan is number 1, Tiara Young, the right fielder, playing in her second game in a row. Went 1 for 2. Had a fly out to center field and a ground out where she would eventually get out on a fielder's choice. And she swings and misses at the first pitch, and the count is now 0-1. Riley Dreher has only thrown 16 pitches so far in this game, but is doing a great job against this Manhattan batting. And the second one is called strike 2. She's only thrown 3 balls, which was with the first batter, Jocelyn Harms, on a 7-pitch at bat where she got her on a strikeout swing. First one will be, this next one will be up there, the ball, and it's ball 1. One and 2 on the way from Dreher. Swing and a miss, and there is back-to-back strikeouts to conclude the second inning. Another 3-up-3 down there for Hayes High against Manhattan. And Hayes High will have their 9-1-2 batters when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Hayes High, Hayes High will have their 9-1-2 batters up now after a 3-up-3 down inning for Manhattan, and it's led off by Lauren Klein. And the left-handed batter will watch the first one go by for strike 1. Klein reached base on a walk on a full count in the fourth inning, and other than that, had 2 flyouts to the shortstop. Swings and misses at that one, and the count now 0-2. Pitch on the way from Chase. Takes a bounce in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-2. And Chase will deliver the pitch. Check swing there for Klein. She doesn't go around. Count is now 2-2. this one will be a foul tip there for Lauren Klein. She strikes out swinging. So we go back to the top of the order now. For Hayes High, it'll be Elise Zimmerman. On the very first pitch for Hayes High in this game, she was able to get a single, and then she would eventually be brought home. And this one, she'll hit it into the gap between left and center field, or right and center field. And this one will drop down. A potential double right here. She slides in safely. The play was not made in time to cap ball. And with one out, Elise Zimmerman on the first pitch of her at-bat gets the single. So now up is Brinley Rupp, who also was able to get a single on the very first pitch of her at-bat. Pitch on the way, takes a bounce on the inside of the dirt, and the count goes to 1-0. Hayes High coming out with a very aggressive approach to this game. Knowing that they've had all the ups and downs this season, now improving to 15-10 after winning the first game. And a win here would give them the 7th seed. They know that they can play as one of the best teams in the country, or in the state. And it's a line drive there for Brinley Rupp. It's caught by the shortstop cap ball, and a double play is made for out number 2. And that's actually going to be the end of the inning. Elise Zimmerman advanced. Again, we appreciate everybody staying in the stream. We apologize with the technical difficulties. Having some power issues, not just with the broadcast equipment, but also the PA announcing equipment is having some trouble as well. Again, we appreciate you all staying in and bearing with us as we work through everything. As Hayes High makes the play there for out number 1 here in the top of the 3rd inning on a 5-3 play to Brindley Browse. And now the 8th batter in the lineup is up for Manhattan, and that is Lydia Wassenberg, the first baseman. In the prior game for her, she reached on an error in the 4th inning, but would get out on a fielder's choice to end the inning. And she'll ground this one to Riley Dreher, and she'll make the throw to Adelaide Kippis for out number 2. Hayes High fielding and pitching been doing a great job in all games so far today. And now up is the final batter in the lineup for Manhattan. That's Celia Courtwright, the second baseman. Batting in the 9th spot once again. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th inning and also had a ground out to the 3rd base earlier in the game as she hits it over to Brindley Rupp, and she'll throw it over to first base for out number 3. 3 straight innings, 3 straight 3 up, 3 down innings. It's Hayes High 3, Manhattan 0, and we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Back here at Bickelschmidt Sports Complex as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning with Hayes High in front 3-0. And the inning's led off by Riley Dreher, and right away she hits this one deep into left field, and the left fielder running back on it. The catch is made by Jocelyn Harms. A good hit ball there by Dreher, but just not enough power there. And now up is the designated player wearing number 11, Lainey Becker. And on the first pitch, she'll pop this one up into the infield. And a play could have been made there, but as Solveig Chase ran up on it to try to make the out, it'll bounce into foul territory. And the count starts off 0-1 to Becker. Becker flew out in the 1st inning on a 1-0 count, or on a pop fly to the second baseman. 0-1 on the way from Chase. And this one will be swung on, hit into right field. Getting back to it is Tierra Young, and she makes the catch for out number 2. Both teams having some quick innings with their pitchers, other than that 1st inning for Hayes High where they were able to score 3 runs on 4 hits. And Manhattan also had an error. Solveig Chase threw 22 pitches. She threw 9 in the 2nd, and so far in this inning has only thrown 3, make that 4 now, and there's 2 outs. And for Riley Dreher, she has thrown 27 pitches in just 3 innings. Pitch on the way. Low and inside to Avery Soliday. The count moves to 2-0. Soliday singled in the 1st inning on a 3-1 count and was left stranded at 3rd base. We'll see what she does this time around. And she'll foul this one back. Count moves to 2-1. Brindley Browse is on deck for Hayes High, and in the hole is Casey Jones. Pitch on the way. Left outside, 3-1. With 2 outs, Chase delivers. This one's hit high in the air to center field. Peabody will get under it. It goes right to her, and there is out number 3. 3 batters, 3 outs there for Hayes High, and we'll see what Manhattan does in the top of the 4th inning when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Sportsmanship?
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
After all 3 of Manhattan's outfielders were responsible for all 3 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning, we go to the top of the 4th with Jocelyn Harms leading the way. Struck out on a full count to start the game. Going up against Riley Dreher has done really well so far. This one will go on the inside for ball 1. Jocelyn Harms, Simmons University softball commit, team at the D3 level. Harms has been really good for Manhattan this season, 271 average coming into today's games. In that first game, she was able to get on base in her final 2 at-bats. Had a walk and a single. As Dreher delivers the pitch, it's a ground ball over to Casey Jones, and she'll just toss it over to Allie Kippis for out number 1. With 1 down, that'll now bring up the shortstop wearing number 20, Cat Ball. Had a pop out to first base in her first at-bat. As Riley Dreher looks at the sleeve on her left wrist, deciding what pitch she's going to throw, she'll deliver. On the inside, this will be called ball 1. On deck for Manhattan is Isabel Peabody, and in the hole is Josie Alasana. She'll show bunt, and then kind of has to reach out a little bit to get a hold of it, and it'll go foul for strike 1. One out here in the top of the 4th inning. Hayes High 3, Manhattan 0. Pitch on the way, a ground ball to the shortstop. Brindley Rupp recovers it, throws it over to Adley Kippis at first base, and there's out number 2. So now we go to the 3rd batter in the order. That is Isabel Peabody. Had a ground out to Casey Jones to end the 1st inning on a previous at-bat. Manhattan has gone 3 up, 3 down so far in each of the first 3 innings. And out here would do that again, but we'll see what Peabody does this time around. Pitch on the way from Dreher, hit high in the air. Sammy Sanderson will run back for it, reach up, and make the play for out number 3. And the player who has played JV for the entire year, gets a round of applause from the home crowd, and that retires the side for the four innings for Manhattan. It's 3 up, 3 down for all 4 of them. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th with Hayes High 6, 7, 8 batters up next. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex in the bottom of the 4th inning with the 6, 7, 8 batters up next for Hayes High. And leading off the inning is the 3rd baseman wearing number 21, Brinley Browse. Reached on a center fielder error, and this one will be a slow roller to second base. The play is made for out number 1. So after an out on the very first pitch of the inning, that'll bring up the second baseman, Casey Jones. Popped out to the third base side in foul territory in her first at-bat. And the pitch on the way will be fouled back and called strike 1. Casey Jones, this is just her 5th game that she's played in all season. Entered with a .333 average. And this one will take a bounce before it reaches home plate. And it'll be called for a 1-1 count. Chase delivers the pitch. This one will be popped up into the air, going towards foul territory, and a little bit of miscommunication there between the second baseman and the first baseman. It was Lydia Wassenberg that looked like she was going to make the play first. Celia Courtright came running into foul territory, and the foul just and the play just couldn't be made with the miscommunication. But the count goes to 1-2 for Casey Jones. On deck for Hayes High is Sammy Sanderson in the hole. Lauren Klein, pitch on the way, takes a bounce, and it goes to 2-2 in the count. Chase gets set, delivers. Another one going on the inside, and the count is full for Casey Jones. Jones has a .600 on-base percentage entering this game and has also been walked once. We'll see what she does here. As the pitch is on the way, it'll be fouled back, and the count will stay full. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up next. Chase will get the pitch on the way. It'll go high, and there is a walk for Casey Jones. Able to get on base, and that'll now bring up the right fielder, Sammy Sanderson. Let's see what she does this time around after striking out in the first inning. Pitch on the way, goes right down the middle for strike 1. Casey Jones is at first base. Pitch on the way to Sanderson. She'll swing and miss at that one. Count is now 0-2, and there was a throw down to first base. Casey Jones able to get back safely. Chase will deliver the 0-2. And the count goes to 1-2 as this one will just miss the strike zone. This one will be thrown low, but Sanderson will take a swing at it, and she strikes out for out number 2 in the inning. So now that'll bring up the final batter in the order, the left fielder wearing number 24, Lauren Klein. had a foul tip strikeout as she led off the second inning. And this one she'll watch go by for strike one. And she'll hit this one on an 0-1 count. It'll go towards the second baseman, and she'll throw it over to Wassenberg at first base for out number 3. Brinley Browse grounds out. Casey Jones gets a walk, and then 2 more outs follow after that. So we'll be back in a moment for the top of the 5th inning. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking the time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be. I'm Jeremy Winslow, and this was a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advising Team.
Back here at Bigglesschmidt Sports Complex, going into the top of the 5th inning, Hayes High still holding the lead at 3-0. They've scored all their runs in the first inning, and now will face off against Manhattan's 4, 5, 6 batters, and leading off the inning is Josie Alasana. She was the one that had the out where she hit a line drive to Riley Dreher, and then she was able to put her glove up and make the catch, and the first pitch will be called strike one. They're giving Alasana a break for this game as Solveig Chase is the starting pitcher for Manhattan. She'll pop this one foul. That last game where she was the starting pitcher, that was the 3rd game in a row where she started, or where she pitched after she pitched and batted in both games against Washburn Rural. Count is 0-2, and it's a ground ball. Brinley Rupp will make the play for it, throw it to Adelie Kippis, and she's able to get it in time. Rupp had to chase it down before it got past that gap between her and Casey Jones, but there is out number 1. So now up is the 3rd baseman, Grayson Neitzel. Went to an 0-2 count in the second inning and was able to get a foul ball to keep it alive, but she struck out swinging for out number 2 in the second inning. So that was Alasana's second time leading off in this game. First one will be called ball 1. Dreher gets set, pitch on the way, takes a bounce low, 2-0. Dreher delivers the pitch. A little bit low and inside, but they're going to call this one strike 1. Riley Dreher doing a good job so far, is not allowed to hit. She'll deliver this one, it'll be hit back foul. Count goes to 2-2. If we take a look at what Riley Dreher has done this season on the pitching side of things, with that 8-4 record, she's only allowed 46 earned runs, has recorded 38 strikeouts coming into this game, and has an ERA of only 4.954. And this one will be popped back by Neitzel. Count stays 2-2. Riley Dreher was the April Hayes High Guide-In Athlete of the Month. She's been doing a lot this season and says it's her goal to be named WAC Player of the Year, as she's not only is she an all-WAC and all-state selection, she is a 3-time all-WAC and all-state selection. 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, thrown high, but the batter takes a swing at it, and there is another strikeout for Riley Dreher. Her fourth of the day, and now up is Tiara Young, the right fielder. Young was one of the strikeout victims for Riley Dreher. That was the final out of the second inning. We'll see what she does this time around. She also singled in the fifth inning of last game. And she'll hit this one. It'll be a ground ball to Brindley Rupp. She'll throw it over to Adelie Kippis, and there is out number 3. Riley Dreher doing a great job so far on the pitcher's mound, getting help from her fielders. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. The score, Hayes High 3, Manhattan 0. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness.
Back here at Bigglesmith Sports Complex in the bottom of the fifth inning. And Hayes High will return to the top of their order with Elise Zimmerman starting off things in this inning. Count will start 1-0. She's reached base in her 2 previous at-bats. And this one will be a line drive that just barely gets past the third baseman, and she continues it 3 for 3 on the day. Trying to make this a double. She will get to second base in plenty of time.
Now batting for Hayes, number 25, Brindley Rupp.
Now up for Hayes High will be the shortstop, Brindley Rupp. She is 1 for 2 in this game with a single and a pop out to the shortstop cap ball for Manhattan. Manhattan also made a substitution in between innings. The shortstop, or the second baseman, Celia Courtwright, has been subbed out, and going in for her is number 5, Keely Schartz. Count is 1-0 to Brindley Rupp. Pitch on the way. Is up there for ball 2. The runner at second base is Elise Zimmerman. Has already scored 1 run in this game. In this one, a ground ball to third base. It's bobbled by the third baseman, and an out will be made in time, but that will be that is able to advance Elise Zimmerman to third base. Rupp had a chance there with Neitzel bobbling the ball after stopping it, but she's able to make the throw in time, and now we go to Riley Dreher, who is 1 for 2 in this game as well. Single and a run for her in this game. This one, a high fly ball to left field. They'll back up, and it'll be caught by Jocelyn Harms for out number 2. Elise Zimmerman able to get back to third base in time.
Now batting for Hayes, number 11, Lady.
Another hit there for Riley Dreher to left field where it looked like it had potential to be a home run ball, but just not able to get enough power onto it, and now up is Lainey Becker, the designated player. Pitch on the way will be up high for ball 1. Two outs, bottom of the fifth, score Hayes High 3, Manhattan 0. Now this one down low, and it's 2-0. First baseman playing up a little bit for Manhattan. Same spot once again, and it's 3-0. Avery Soliday's on deck for Hayes High, and in the hole is Brindley Browse. Hayes High trying to extend their 3-0 lead here and get some insurance runs as we go to the later parts of this game. This one down the middle for strike one. And here we go, pitch on the way from Chase. A slow, hard ground ball to the third baseman. She'll run up on it, and Lady Becker is there in time for the infield single, and that will score Elise Zimmerman to extend Hayes High's lead to 4-0.
For Hayes, number 22, Avery Soliday.
So with a runner on first and a run just scored, that'll bring up the catcher Avery Soliday. Singled in the first inning, but was left stranded at third base and had a fly out to center field in the third inning. First pitch is ball one. Catcher showing that she wants it right down the middle. Pitch on the way. Soliday will take a swing at this one, and it'll bounce in front of the center fielder who had to run to the right a little bit to make the play. And a little sigh of relief there for Hayes High. Laney Becker ran to second base and turned to look at third base, and the throw had been made to the shortstop, but she was able to turn around and get back in time. Another courtesy runner substitution for Hayes High. It's Jaylee Summers going in for Avery Soliday. Jaylee Summers was actually the courtesy runner for that single that Soliday had in the first inning. And now up is Brindley Browse. She'll swing and hit this one. It'll go past the glove of the third baseman. And this should bring a run home, and it will. Laney Becker will score. And it's a RBI single for Brindley Browse, with Jaylee Summers advancing to second base.
Casey Jones.
Now up is the second baseman, Casey Jones. Hayes High in front of Manhattan 5-0 here in the bottom of the fifth inning. This one will be popped up behind home plate. The catcher tried chasing it down, but it hits against the netting, and it'll be called strike one. Jones steps back into the batter's box. Manhattan again showing that they want the pitch right down the middle. And this one will take a bounce and then go past the catcher. All runners will advance to second and third. Hayes High looking to extend their lead. 2 runners in scoring position now, but there's also 2 outs on a 1-1 count. Jones has reached base once in this game. As the pitch will head her way, this one will be popped up and it'll bounce over the head of the pitcher. This is going to be a safe run. Hayes High will score. Kind of a sloppy hit there by Casey Jones, but it was so slow, and the pitcher just couldn't track it down as it bounced behind her, and it scores a run. And there's also going to be a circle meeting here for Manhattan, and we'll step away as they talk things over. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication.
So after the meeting, Hayes High will have runners at third and first base with now coming to the plate, Sammy Sanderson, and she'll watch the first one go by. It's ball one. Sanderson has played all JV games this season, but is playing this one for Senior Day. And it's up there once again. The count moves to 2-0. Chase will deliver the pitch. Takes a bounce inside, ball 3. Hayes High started with the top of the order in this 5th inning. So if Sanderson can get on base, they will bat the order in this inning, and there it is. A 4-pitch walk there for Sammy Sanderson, And the bases are loaded, and coming up to the plate is Lauren Klein. 0 for 2 in this game, but we'll see what she does right here with 2 runners in scoring position. Had 12 RBIs on the season coming into today's games. This one will just be popped up into the infield. And the shortstop, Cat Ball, will make the play for out number 3. Hayes High leaves the bases loaded, but they do score 3 runs in that inning after an Elise Zimmerman double, Lainey Becker single, and Avery Soliday single. And they lead 6-0 going into the top of the 6th inning. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalia Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
After Hayes High scores 3 runs on 5 hits and leaves 3 stranded, we go to the top of the 6th inning with Manhattan having their 7, 8, 9 batters up next. Riley Dreher still in the circle, has done an incredible job, and if she can hold out for these final 2 innings, she will pitch a perfect game. She is not allowed a hit or a run or a walk in tonight's game. She'll face off first against the pitcher Solvig Chase for Manhattan. This one takes a bounce in the dirt for ball 1. Chase 0 for 1 after a ground out on a 2-2 count in the 3rd inning to third base. Pitch on the way from Dreher. Ground ball to third base. Browse gets a hold of it after bobbling it, and the catch is made by Adelaide Kibbis, but she dropped it in the very end. I think they will list that as an error. But that will bring up Lydia Wassenberg. We'll take a quick break here to see if that is an error officially listed by Hayes High Softball's game changer, and it is. So we'll see a courtesy runner come in for Manhattan, and it's going to be number 3, Harper Bailey. Player who hasn't seen much action for Manhattan this season, has only 1 appearance in this season batting, and that was April 19th against Shawnee Mission North. They'll show bunt. Dreher runs up on it, and it's a throw down to first base, but actually, no, they do not make the throw, as Wassenberg will get on through a bunt. So Manhattan had not gotten a hit through the entire game, and then in the 6th inning, they get a runner on through a first base error and a bunt single. Now up is Celia Courtright. Dreher delivers the pitch. She'll show bunt. It goes over the head of Soliday, and all runners advance. So the count 1-0 to Courtright. No outs. Hayes High in front of Manhattan, 6-0. Swing and a miss there. Count goes to 1-1. Manhattan will go back to the top of the order for just the 3rd time in this game after this at bat. With Jocelyn Harms on deck and Cat Ball in the hole. They'll show bunt, and this one will be fouled back off of the glove of Soliday as she tried getting it. 1-2 is the count. Dreher gets set, pitch on the way. This will be fouled near the bullpen on Manhattan's side. Count stays 1-2. Courtright has gotten on base so far in this doubleheader through a fielder's choice in game one, and she swings and misses at that one for the strikeout. So with one down, that will return Manhattan to the top of the order. Jocelyn Harms comes up to the plate, 0 for 2 for her on the day. Dreher gets set and delivers. Down the middle for strike one, and they'll run up, and Dreher will tag the, nope, she lost the ball. Solvik Chase stole home on a pass ball, and the tag was not made in time. Lydia Wassenberg will also advance to third base, and the count is currently 0-1. So Manhattan has their first run, not just in this game, but in this doubleheader. As they'll show bunt once again. This time it goes right to Dreher. She'll throw it to home plate, and the tag is made in time. Lydia Wassenberg tried advancing home, and there is out number 2. So that will bring up Cat Ball after Jocelyn Harms gets on through a fielder's choice. Dreher got the ball, looked home, looked at first, looked back at home, and threw it to Avery Soliday for out number 2. Cat Ball 0 for 2 in this game with a fly out and a ground out to the shortstop. First one will be called strike one. Dreher delivers the pitch, it goes inside. Count moves to 1-1. They looked over at first base thinking that Jocelyn Harms was maybe going to try and make a run for it. She stole a base earlier against in game one, so she is 14 for 16 on stolen base attempts this season. This goes through the legs of Dreher, and another single for Manhattan. Runners at first and second, and now up is the third batter, Isabel Peabody. Center fielder is another player near the top of that order for Manhattan that's 0 for 2. And now she gets hit by a pitch, and she will go to first base, and the bases are loaded for Manhattan. Two outs, bases loaded, and a perfect opportunity here for Manhattan as they bring up their cleanup batter, Josie Alasana. Dreher delivers. This one's popped up into the air. Sanderson has to run up on it, and this will land in fair territory. It was close to the line of one run will score, and another run will score as well. A 2 RBI double for Manhattan as they cut into the lead. So that actually scored 3 runs on that last play. Manhattan now only down by 2 here against Hayes High. Alasana's at second base, and it looks like they're going to make a substitution. Or actually, I think they're having a conversation with the umpire. Not sure what it's about. Now another coach for Manhattan is going to come out and talk to the home plate umpire after a 3 RBI play for the Indians. Grayson Neitzel about to bat next. She is the one at the plate, so it's not a substitution. And now they're going to bring the other umpire over. It's unclear what the discussion is about. We'll let you all know as soon as possible. I think we're going to get a either a pinch hitter or a courtesy runner here for Manhattan. They just yelled over to their dugout telling one of their players to get a helmet on. Grayson Niesel is still at the plate, so it's not going to be a pinch hitter. It's going to be a courtesy runner, and that courtesy runner for Manhattan is number 12, Marin Moosborn, who is the flex player playing catcher for Manhattan in this game. So Grayson Netzel has struck out swinging twice in her 2 at-bats in this game, but Manhattan's got a 2-out rally going. They hadn't gotten a hit or a run or a walk even in the previous 5 innings, but so far they've put a total of 6 runners on in this inning, and 4 of them have scored. This one will be down the middle and fouled back, strike 1 to Grayson Nitzel. Goes back into the circle, and we'll get set and deliver the pitch. High and outside, just barely. That'll be ball 1. One and 1 is the count. Soliday showing that she wants to pitch low, and they'll make contact with this one. The shortstop Rupp will run up on it and throw it over to Kippis for out number 3. But Manhattan does cut into the Hayes High lead, trying to mount a comeback. They put up 4 runs after getting 6 total players on base in that inning. And now Hayes High needs some insurance runs before going into the top of the 7th. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Hello everyone, this is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, and baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is
Manhattan scores 4 runs on 3 hits and leaves just 1 stranded as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Leading off that inning is the top of the order for Hayes High, Lisa Zimmerman. And on the first pitch of the at-bat, she grounds it out to Cat Ball for out number 1. So with 1 down, that'll bring up Brinley Rupp. Singled in the first inning, but since then has put the ball in play twice, unable to get on. Pitch on the way, she'll hit this one high into the air. It'll be the shortstop running it down. Cat Ball able to track it down for out number 2. Second time Cat Ball has gotten Brinley Rupp out in this game. And now up is the pitcher, Riley Dreher. 44 hits this season, 1 in this game. And in the prior game, she had one as well. That was a double. This one is hit high into the air. The left fielder runs in on it, and there is out number 3. It only takes 3 pitches to get 3 outs there for Manhattan, but they need 2 runs in the next inning to keep the game alive. To the top of the 7th we go. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
As athletes, we couldn't play the sports we do without officials. Officials keep the game safe, fair, and fun. Our officials work hard in the off-season to be the best they can. The best way to thank them is to show them nothing but respect and gratitude during competition. As competition starts this year, please be aware of how you are treating officials in order to have the best outcome for your season and your officials. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
We go to the top of the 7th inning with the score Hayes High 6, Manhattan 4. And for Manhattan, it's their 6, 7, 8 batters facing off against Raleigh Dreher, needing 2 runs to keep the game alive. The inning will be led off by number 1, Tiara Young. 0 for 2 on the day, but Manhattan's all their batters that have gone 0 for 2 in the game have just picked it up in the last inning. And this first hit will be fouled back. The count starts 0-1. On deck is Solvig Chase, and in the hole is Lydia Wassenberg. Pitch on the way from Dreher. Outside, but in there for strike 2. Dreher delivers up high. There's the first ball of the at-bat. We'll see if that magic from the last inning will carry over into this inning for Manhattan. And a swing and a miss. Tiara Young striked out for the 2nd time in this game, and that is 1 down. Next up is Solvig Chase. Scored the first run of the game for Manhattan. Was able to reach on an error from the first baseman. Adelie Kippis couldn't get a hold of the ball, and then Solvig Chase able to score the first run, which was part of that rally. And she hits this one high in the air to the center fielder, Elise Zimmerman. She's able to track it down. There is out number 2. So 1 more out away, and Hayes High can finish the regular season with a win. Coming up to the plate for Manhattan is Lydia Wassenberg. The first baseman reached in the prior inning on a single, but got out at home on a fielder's choice where the ball was grounded to the pitcher, and she couldn't quite get home. First pitch takes a bounce, ball 1. Dreher gets set, pitch on the way, swing and a miss, down low for strike 1. One and one on the way. Swing and a miss, left up high, but Wassenberg took a swing at it. 1 more strike will give Hayes High win number 16 on the year. Dreher looks at the Hayes High dugout, then looks at her sleeve. Gets set, pitch on the way. It's a hard ground ball. Brindley Rupp runs up on it at shortstop, throws it over to Kippis, and there is out number 3. Hayes High wins it. 16-10 is how they will finish the regular season, and they have locked up the 7th seed in the 5A West Regional. Manhattan will fall to 7-15 on the season as Hayes High wins game number 2 by a final score of 6-4. A great showing on Senior Day, and they're able to end the regular season with a win. We'll have our post-game show coverage for you when we come back. This is Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team and Tribe Broadcasting.
This is the dangers of littering.
Cigarette butts are the most common type of litter. Over 100,000 whales, dolphins, and turtles die annually after becoming entangled and consuming plastic. Over 1 million animals die per year due to littering. Every year, over 10 billion tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Littering, cans, broken glass, and other sharp objects can cut and hurt animals and allow diseases to infect them. Animals can mistake litter for food, often causing malnutrition or even death. Littering can destroy an animal's habitats and shorten their food supply.
Some ways you can help end littering is picking up trash in public when you see it, or just picking up in general. Let's make this world cleaner, and let's end littering together.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. Back here at Bigglesschmidt Sports Complex on the post-game show as Hayes High ends the regular season with a win over Manhattan by a final score of 6-4. And we'll take a look back at a recap of tonight's game. Manhattan went 3 up, 3 down in all of the first in each of the first 5 innings. So we'll look at Hayes High's performance in those first 5 innings. They scored the first 3 runs without an out being recorded. Elise Zimmerman, Brindley Rupp, and Riley Dreher were the ones that scored. Avery Soliday also had a hit as well, and Brinley Browse reached on base. So Hayes High batted 8 of their 9 batters in the first inning, but then Elise Zimmerman had a single in the second, but got out on a double play. So Hayes High only went through 3 batters in the second inning, went 3 up, 3 down in the third. Had one player reach base in the fourth inning, but no one was able to score. It was Casey Jones reaching on a full count walk. And then in the 5th inning, Hayes High led it off at the top of their order. Elise Zimmerman got on base through a double. 2 outs followed after that, and then Hayes High went on a 2-out rally of their own. Laney Becker got a single that brought Elise Zimmerman home. Avery Soliday singled as well. Both of those two would score, although Avery Soliday was subbed out for a courtesy runner, Jaylee Summers. Brindley Browse singled. Casey Jones also had a single in the 5th inning, and then Sammy Sanderson walked on 4 straight balls. And in the 6th inning for Manhattan, they scored their first runs of the game. Solveig Chase got on through a first base error. And then Lydia Wassenberg would get a single on the first pitch of her at bat. And then the 3 runs would follow after that. Jocelyn Harms, Cat Ball, and Isabel Peabody. And they'd also have a double by Josie Alessana, which she was the one that had the 3 RBIs that brought those 3 runners home. And then the final out followed after that. And then for Hayes High in the 6th inning, they went 3 up, 3 down on just 3 pitches. And then rounding it out in the 7th inning, Manhattan went 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout, a fly out to center field, and a ground out to the shortstop, Brindley Rupp. So Hayes High wins it by a final score of 6-4. And we'll now take a look at our final individual and team numbers. As we take a look at that, starting off with Hayes High's batting, Elise Zimmerman had 2 runs and 3 hits, and also Brindley Rupp scored a run and a hit. Riley Dreher had 2 RBIs, and she also had a hit and a run. Lainey Becker had 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 RBI. Avery Soliday got 2 hits, and 1 run was scored by her courtesy runner, Jaylee Summers. Brindley Browse had a hit and an RBI. Casey Jones had a hit, an RBI, and a walk. And rounding it out is Sammy Sanderson getting walked on a 4-0 count. So Hayes High had 6 runs on 10 hits, batted in 5 of their runs and had 2 walks. And Riley Dreher pitched the entire game, giving her 9th win of the season. And she threw all 7 innings, 3 hits allowed, 4 runs scored by Manhattan, and she recorded 7 strikeouts on just 73 pitches. And looking over at Manhattan's batting, Jocelyn Harms scored a run after reaching on a fielder's choice. Cat Ball scored had a hit and a run. Isabel Peabody scored a run as well. Josie Alessana drove in the 3 runs on her 1 hit. Grayson Neitzel had, Lydia Wassenberg recorded a hit. And that wraps up the stat category for Manhattan with 4 runs scored on 3 hits, and 3 of their 4 runs were batted in. And the loss on the pitching side will go to Solveig Chase, pitched 6 innings, gave up 10 hits and 6 runs, and gave up 2 walks as well while recording 3 strikeouts on 78 pitches. So for Hayes High, this will conclude the regular season for them. With the 2 wins of the doubleheader, they fully secure the 7th seed. And the way it looks right now, they will face off against Valley Center. And for Manhattan, they came into this game as the 12 seed, so we'll take a look and see what that could possibly get them. As we pull up the standings here, courtesy of Keisha. So the current 5 seed in the 6A West is the Mays Eagles at 16-10. That is likely who Manhattan's opponent will be. So both teams fully have their spots secured, and that was the final game of Hayes High's regular season. And for me, ladies and gentlemen, that was my final broadcast here with Tribe Broadcasting. So I just wanted to take a second, give out some thank yous. First off and foremost, thank you to Jake Deckent, the director and teacher of the Tribe Broadcasting program. Also, thank you to the students and all the producers that I've worked with over these last 2 years. Thank you to the players and coaches. Because of you guys, I get the opportunity to do this, call the games for Hayes High. And most importantly, thank you to the fans for tuning in to all games this season, whether it was a blowout, a comeback, a close game, a championship, or a regular season game. You all tuned in and made these streams super enjoyable to do. But for now, I pass the headset to the next person in line. So thank you all for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. I'm Hank Corsair. This has been Hayes High Softball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. And ladies and gentlemen, good night from Bickelschmidt Sports Complex.